A lot of you guys might have seen this from a lot of recent videos, but I've really not been healthy. At least not to the standard at which I need to be to try to compete at a competitive level in a sport. Is disc golf a sport? I'll leave that up to the angry comments to decide. But today we're gonna be playing 9 holes at Bryant Lake Disc Golf Course in Minneapolis with a licensed athletic trainer, Josh, who's actually helping me out. He helped me out a ton this morning with some body work.
Oh, it is the topic. Right here.
Yep, which is where it connects.
Yeah.
And when you're throwing a few thousand times a week.
Maybe a day.
Yeah, I'm Josh. I'm an athletic trainer here in the state of Minnesota. My business is the Wellness Habit, but I like to go by the injury prevention guy. I work with a handful of pros as well as Anthony here and a couple other YouTubers. What I really focus on is helping athletes prevent injury and continue to play the sport that they love, as well as everyday people that have injuries and are not able to do things they love, whether it's pain-free or not at all. So
when I traveled through Minneapolis last summer, this was one of the bucket list courses that I didn't get to play. Josh actually reached out to me a little bit ago on my channel because I was saying that I was having a little bit of pain just after filming videos every single day for months. And we got to talking a little bit about like the things that I could do to help. And I've been like the worst student, which is one of the reasons why I'm not healthy right now, mainly just because I should have been doing what he's told me to do for like the past months. And then getting into this tournament season, not performing super well, my body aching, not producing as much content as I need to, I really decided that it was time for a change. So today we're gonna break down how to make sure that you're not getting injured, especially elbows and shoulders, because that plagues a lot of disc golfers, and then kind of how to make sure that you can increase some strength and even distance, and then a little bit about nutrition, but he's not a nutritionist, so I'll probably just ramble and speculate about that a bit. Ooh, nice little strike action.
sit. Circle 3 stepper.
So the body work that we did is basically him just like putting me through a lot of pain to make sure that I feel better. But I'll cut to a little bit of that. And then the whole body work session will actually be on my second channel, Bonanza's Bogeys, at some point, probably today, maybe tomorrow. But I didn't used to be able to do this. Lifting my elbow above my shoulder without lifting my shoulder up. And now I can. Because I can't do it on this arm. I was trying in the car and my shoulder is lifting up, as you can see. But this side, it's not. So maybe I can actually throw a Frisbee right now.
Also, don't rate my work on Anthony's throwing ability today.
Wow, that's a little rude.
Unless he does something crazy, then it's all me. Like park the first hole. Almost park it.
It's all you. That felt so clean. And that's like with, not like no warm up, because we activated so much during that bodywork session, but like, wow.
That was rude of that eagle not to come back.
Yeah, that was very rude.
Didn't warm up the putt. Let's see how it's feeling today. Missed that.
Now, I can definitely understand if you feel like me saying that I'm not healthy is like a little hyperbolic, and maybe it is, but I think a lot of it's just relative. Because yes, for like a general life, I'm healthy, but for someone who needs to go and shoot 7-ish videos a week and is continuing to train to like try to compete at the most elite level that I can in disc golf. Maybe that's pro tour, maybe I'd never get there, but I want to give myself the best chance. And so I'm very much not healthy enough to like be an athlete cardiovascularly or just like my body wise. And that's because I've not been treating it very well. Oh! So what do you think are like one of the bigger struggles that you see a lot of disc golfers, casual or YouTube guys, like the reason you reached out to me basically, like what do you think a lot of people are doing wrong right now?
A lot of the issues with disc golfers are coming up in their shoulders and their elbows. They're either A, just not working out, or B, if they are working out, they're just not doing the proper exercises that are actually going to protect them.
Our basket's in the mulch over here somewhere. I don't know.
A little ultra. See how big I'm feeling today?
Feeling like me, a little short. Might go pathy. We'll talk about the disc golf specific workouts after I park this.
Keep flipping.
No, it's perfect.
Yep.
And quickly before we talk about the workouts, I was in a field for 3 hours yesterday throwing and like literally wasn't able to do some of the movements, which I was like, oh, it's just a form thing to fix. We got on the table today with Josh and he's like, yeah, of course you can't do that. Your body won't let you because your muscles are too tight or you have too many knots from overuse.
This is your levator.
My levator?
Yep.
What's that?
Brings that shoulder up. So if that's tight,
Dude, it's literally a
then
ball.
you're here.
My whole levator is a ball right now.
yes. So if you're here because that muscle's tight, you physically can't keep that arm down.
And your body's trying to like overcorrect. And that really brings us, real quick before we talk about like which specific workouts, more so the philosophy behind the workouts.
Yeah, so typically people stretch and they work out separately. Or even if they're doing it, they're doing it at the same time and in the same gym session where they're stretching and they're doing workouts. What we really want to focus on is doing stretching and exercises together, so that as we're increasing range of motion, we're also strengthening in those increased ranges of motion. And so what happens is there's a discrepancy between our range of motion that we have and the strength in that range of motion. And that happens because we don't work out in our full ranges of motion typically.
A quick example of that with the ranges of motion is if I'm squatting or your quads, you're stretching all the way down to here. Because of that, a full range of motion in a squat is gonna be pretty much ATG, like ass to grass squat. And so if you're only squatting like kind of quarter squats, a squat for me, I don't want to be able to stretch as far as I possibly can. Like my quad is getting really full stretched here, and then only train up to this point, so it's not as strong in the full range of motion.
And what happens when we stretch and strengthen separately is that we increase that gap, which increases the chances of injury.
And this is pretty legit. Bag holder right here.
Trash cans, benches on every hole, a friggin' T-pad that anybody could throw off of. All right, guys, we got a par 3 just up over the hill. I can see the band. Anthony probably can't.
I can see where that shot finished though.
Skip.
Oh wow, this is way farther than I thought.
That. Sit.
Hey, you give it the height.
Well, Anthony's missing this putt. We'll talk about...
You said while I'm missing the putt,
Yeah.
so you're not going to talk about it now?
I mean, go ahead. Like I was saying, the program is focused on disc golf, but also just like everyday life movements of the shoulder, movements of the elbow, movements of the leg and like hip are also translate from disc golf to just like everyday life, incorporating those full range of motion, which is the stretching and strengthening at the same time, combining that. What it comes down to is consistency. I can give you the best program in the world, but if you're not doing it every day or 5 days a week or 4 days a week, whatever it is, then you're not getting the benefits of it.
He's talking about me. And a lot of what Josh has really taught me is we're trying to train ourselves so that what we do in the gym is harder than what we do on the disc golf course. Because the reason that injury happens is your body is less trained than what you're trying to demand of it. Oh, buckets. And so the point of doing these lifts and doing it in the full range of motion is because when you're playing disc golf, like you need to be stretchy and you're gonna be in your full ranges of motion. So you need to be strong throughout the whole range of motion so that when you're throwing a disc or ripping a forehand or a backhand as hard as you can, it's not the hardest thing physically that you put your body through, and you've trained it in a controlled environment to get to a place that's higher than the difficulty you're putting it through.
It's really all about the controlled environment. So we wanna train our muscles in a safe environment, which is the key, to a point where what I do in the gym is more difficult than everyday life. I'm not just putting as much weight as I can on the bar, because that's not a necessarily safe environment. What's safe is what my body can handle. Get in front of it. Oh, that's a tough putt. We don't want to tax our body and put it in a dangerous spot, because if I'm not doing it in a safe environment, then I am putting my body in danger of getting injured by working out. So the 3 keys, guys, are training pain-free, which is like the ultimate number 1, training through a full range of motion, and making sure that you're controlling that full movement. Every workout, every exercise, every rep.
That's it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Doinks.
Now there is specific lifting programming that he's having me do, especially seeing as I have like really put my body through way too much struggle. That didn't have to be if I was actually just being intentional with like an hour 5 days a week. And all of that is gonna be done at the gym, which is for me Planet Fitness. But there are also things that you can do today that I have been doing a lot more of, which are very simple forearm workouts and slight leg workouts. And these will really help to start the prevention for injury and strengthening, like even things like your snap.
Guys, if there was ever a perfect opportunity for a basketball putt to be useful, it's right now.
Let's go.
Cash.
Oh God. Can't get these annies done. Jeez. We'll start with the forearm workouts real fast. The forearm is connected with your elbow, which is like the main thing that disc golfers struggle with. And there are a couple things that you could need for these workouts. Very simple though, like a 5-pound weight, maybe 10 pounds if you're huge. A little gripper thingy, a little extender thingy, and a hammer. I'll have all that linked down in the description with the Amazon affiliate links if you want to buy any of it through that.
We have 3 main movements of our forearm. So we have flexion and extension. So we will do flexion with the 5-pound weight. We'll do extension with the 5-pound weight. We will do radial flexion and ulnar flexion with the hammer. And then we will do pronation and supination with the hammer as well. And then with the grippers, which you can get really cheap on Amazon, flexion and then extension of the fingers and hands.
There are some leg ones too, but we'll talk about that next hole. And that's mostly for your knees, because when you're bracing, you can smack up your knee a little bit.
Par 4.
Is it really?
It's a soft par 4. 347. Someone
What?
changed it from 447 to 347.
All right, we got like the easiest par 4 in the world here.
Get under it. Luck.
Ooh.
Almost a really lucky kick.
Maybe we're gonna try this little Calvin boy on a little flexi forehand. That bodywork session, like my whole body feels wrecked, like my right side, because that's what we worked on. And so like, it feels like sore, but less tight, which is a very weird feeling for me.
That's gonna be
In the basket.
deep.
Ooh, you know what this is actually? A Midnight Prop 2 ace.
Flip, 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 flip. Park.
It's deep too. Now those forearm workouts and then the leg workouts that we'll talk to, which are body weight based, those are all ones that I will do kind of on opposite days of my lifts. So there's a lower and upper days, and on my lower days, I'll do the forearm workouts, and on the upper days, I'll do the lower body workouts. Those workouts, I'm planning on vlogging a 5-day workout series, so you can just see everything I do in a week of lifting. I'll probably do that over the next like 2 or 3 weeks, especially because I'll show you like kind of what I'm doing while I'm also playing tournaments. And so we'll definitely discuss each individual workout, and he'll have all those workouts as well that eventually he's gonna get up on his YouTube and other social medias, which I'll have linked in the description.
Inside circle 3, edge of circle 2, eagle look, downhill.
This is just not a par 4. That's a great bid though.
UDisc says it is, so
Okay, we'll take it.
UDisc is king.
Dang it.
So guys, there's some body weight exercises that you can do anywhere in your house, at your office, wherever you're doing them. You just need a wall and some type of chair or a slightly elevated surface. First one we got is toe raises. That's gonna work our shin muscle, which is our tibialis. You can also call them tibialis raises. This is strengthening our brake muscle as we go to set our foot down. The stronger this muscle is, the less pressure goes into your knee as you're walking with your knee over your toe. The next ones are straight leg calf raises and then bent knee calf raises. This is due to the fact that we have 2 different calf muscles, one that attaches above the knee and one that attaches below the knee. This is going to help strengthen and lengthen our calf muscle. And then we have toe touches here, which I'll show you the side view of as well. We're trying to touch that toe out as far as we can while leaving this back heel on the ground. That is going to help strengthen this quad.
Are you supposed to be supporting yourself as well, or are you supposed to do them unsupported?
I would start supported, and then you can move to unsupported. You could even just do like a finger. So find an elevated surface. Typically stairs, if you're in your house, work really well. Try second stair or third stair. And you're going to want to put your foot up on that stair and then flex forward. It is definitely okay to bring your heel up, and to start, you probably will have to. And the goal here is to cover our calf muscle with our hamstring. So we don't want to just come down to here. We want to get all the way forward. If there's pain in your knee when you get to this motion, then we need to lift our front foot higher. The other thing we're trying to do is straighten out this back leg and get a stretch through our hip flexor. Those are the office workouts for the legs. This is going to help anything from your ankle to your foot strength, knee, and then hip as well, which also is going to help with low back.
And you guys be basically doing these on alternating days, so you don't do the same one 2 days in a row to like overwork it. So that's something that's like really easy. Like I've been doing my forearm workouts. Basically, I like make food, and then right after I eat, I'm like have a show on anyway. So I just do my little forearm workouts, and it just gets done in like 10-15 minutes.
Guys, I do have that forearm workout up on my YouTube video.
Oh, perfect.
Up on my YouTube channel, not my YouTube video. It is a video on my YouTube channel.
How good is that?
If it gets lucky through the pine tree, under the basket. It's gonna be,
Oh, he is a low side putter, folks.
as Brad would say, I'm cracked.
Good. Beautiful little top of the world shot. I mean, we're not going down it, but if you look behind us. Uphill 420, you can probably barely see it a little bit. One misconception too, as we get into the workouts after we both throw, is people for some reason think, like, I don't know exactly what it is, probably just a misconception, but I've heard a lot of people be like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym and like get big and bulky or whatever. Or like, hey, there's a reason I just slim down when I talk about like lifting for disc golf. And I'm like, I don't think you understand how hard it is to actually get big. Ezra had to work for years to get as big as he was, and he slimmed down to where he is still bigger than you will ever be if you just like go to the gym for the next 3 years and don't focus on like getting bigger. So you're not gonna get massive, just lifting is for prevention and for strength. That doesn't mean you're gonna get big old muscles that are gonna hinder you in any way. I almost said something about not hitting that, and I was like, I don't wanna say that, and then you did. Okay, it's not as flippy as my other Echo Star Destroyer.
Guys, if you're really looking for disc golf specific workouts, break down a disc golf form and your throw, both backhand and forehand, even if you don't throw one or the other. You want to work both sides, guys. In this motion here, we got shoulder, we got elbow, we got wrist. I got mid back, lower back, hips, knees, ankles. So like break down, if you know exercises, move in the full ranges of motion in a pain-free, full range of motion, controlled movement, and you'll be able to get better over time slowly. Otherwise, just reach out and I can help you with a program that will get you better and out of pain and better at disc golf. Not that like I'm better at disc golf, but like I'm better than I would have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not high enough. Skip. That's a par.
Bring it up and down.
Made the most of it. Cool down, just kind of pay attention to how your body's feeling after the round and what kind of felt tight or what maybe caused a little pain. And do some stretching or get like a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball and do some rolling of those areas. And then making sure to drink a lot of water, eat good food, get good sleep.
Kind of got a fake birdie on that last one. This one's 474 up and to the right, it looks like. I might just try to get a little too aggressive and throw a faro at it. That last thing that Josh said right before we walked off was water, eating well, and sleeping well. The sleeping part is one of the biggest struggles I've had for these last couple weeks where I've really been intentional about getting 8 hours, and it makes a world of a difference in how you feel in play. Water, surprisingly to me, has felt more important than food sometimes when I'm on the course, just because your body being dehydrated, I feel like it's massively overlooked how important that is. And then nutrition, we'll chat about, because I got some general thoughts. Oh, should be in the middle unless it cut rolled.
That'll be nice. This is not my area of expertise, but we're gonna try a foot pump buzz SS through that right gap. Or the left one.
So when we're talking nutrition, there's a lot of like rabbit holes that you can definitely go down. And I am absolutely not an expert, but I have spent a lot of time like looking into a lot of things.
One of the only discs you'll see me forehand is a Crystal Flex Zone.
So while he's throwing, I'll just keep rambling, but.
Oh.
Uh-oh. And so basically from a lot of like what I understand, which is very anecdotal, and this is basically just, I'm saying this is what I'm gonna do. You don't have to do this. This might not even be the right thing, but eat whole foods. So not a lot of processed things, none at all if you can help it. And then I don't even care about macros in general, except for one. I care about protein because that's what synthesizes your muscles and helps you in recovery. Fats, carbs, people think that high fats or high carb, whatever. I know, I try to listen to my body for like what it wants. Like if I'm feeling a little slower and sluggish and I've still eaten that day, I know I probably need some carbs, maybe a little bit of protein as well. But first thing is probably water. But I'm really just focused on, I weigh 165 pounds right now, which is also pretty overweight for a guy my size. And some of that's muscle. A lot of that is like just extra fat that I don't need to be carrying. I'm not necessarily intent on losing weight right now, but I'm intent on building a healthier lifestyle, and a big part of that is the protein. I'm gonna try to do 150 grams of protein, because I've heard a gram per pound is really good for the day. One of the guy who is, in my opinion, one of the best like infotainment YouTubers to look at is a guy called Jeff Nippard, really phenomenal bodybuilder. So different vein. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I'm just trying to be an athlete, but he talks about a lot of that. And so trying to get 150 grams of protein a day, and then everything else I'm gonna eat intuitively. I'm not even gonna count calories. I don't care. I just gotta make sure I get 150 grams of protein, drink enough water throughout the day, and then fats, carbs, wherever they lay, as long as they're more whole foods, fruits, vegetables. I like rice a lot, so a lot of rices. Oh, it's so close. Let's go. I know right now that I'm very much not in the health that I need to be at, or to be like working as optimally as I can towards cashing at a pro tour event and getting to be as good at disc golf and just also feel better about life. Like, you just feel lethargic when you don't sleep or drink or eat well enough, as well as like when you're injured. Like you guys have seen, I've been wearing sleeves all over the place because my elbow has really felt terrible.
Playing disc golf, if you want to do it pain-free and maybe do it a little better, working out is important. Don't let anyone tell you differently. There's no such thing as a bad movement. There's only doing movements badly and putting yourself in danger of injury. Train pain-free, train through your full range of motion, and train with controlling the whole movement. That will get you through the rest of life if you actually subscribe by those 3 keys. And if you're looking for help and don't know where to start, or you're not well versed in the gym, reach out at josh@thewellnesshabit.co. Type in injury prevention or whatever in the subject line, Bodanza subscriber, whatever you want, and I will get back to you and we'll get to work. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's just something I've been passionate about, and I haven't been healthy, so I figured a little clickbait in the title will hopefully help a lot of people to start to take their health a little more serious, as I am needing to as well. It's very necessary for me. So that's that. Appreciate you guys so much. If you want to watch some more videos, do it. They're on the screen. Okay, love you guys. Bye.